Welcome to News Now on M6, your hometown station. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Adam Stout, and here with me is Alex Meacham. Good to have you. All right, now we have some exciting news stories for you. Japanese central government officials pledged Thursday to buy less Iranian oil. This will support Washington's campaign to sanction Iran over its nuclear program. Timothy Geithner, the Secretary of Treasury, made his breakthrough just a day after meeting with officials in Beijing who had previously rejected sanctions against Iran. Japan imports 10% of its oil from Iran, but Azumi, who is a government official for Japan, said his nation will reduce this 10% share as soon as possible in a timely manner.
Romney, former governor of Massachusetts, became the first Republican non-incumbent to win both Iowa and New Hampshire's contests. Romney had 39% of the votes, while Ron Paul followed with 23%.
During the last 3 months of 2011, President Obama raised $42 million for his re-election efforts. His campaign manager says the donations show the strength of his campaign and his success in gaining supporters. In 2011, over 1.3 million people helped donate to re-elect Obama. Altogether, there is $131 million raised for his campaign, with help donations from the Democratic National Committee.
The Detroit Police and Wayne County Sheriff's Office are continuing their search for 27-year-old Kent Morton. He is a man who fell off the Ambassador Bridge Wednesday, January 11th, while performing maintenance. Witnesses say they may have seen Kent hit the water. He tried to swim back to shore but was carried away by the current. The young man's family is already assuming the worst, but they are praying to find his body soon so they can have some closure.
The North American International Auto Show was a huge event in 2012. About 40 vehicles total debuted during Detroit's auto show at Cobo Center. Some of the cars released were the Dodge Dart, Lincoln MKZ, and the Cadillac ATS. Experts say the event will be even bigger next year.
Last weekend, the 2012 Silver Stick Finals came to Port Huron. Port Huron celebrated their 50th year of hosting Silver Sticks. The games were played at McMorran Civic Center. The youth hockey tournament draws teams from across the North American continent. These players will hopefully compete in the NHL, and opening ceremonies began last Friday at 7:30 p.m. in the McMorran Mains Ice Arena.
Silver Sticks is always a fun time. Did you get to see any this weekend?
I actually didn't this year. Did you get to go see anything?
Nah, but I have before, and it's pretty cool.
It is.
Speaking of Silver Sticks, let's go to David Patchell with sports.
Thanks, Adam. For NFL football, this past weekend was a huge one. The New York Giants took down the heavily favored Green Bay Packers 37-20. This was an upset that not many people saw coming. Also over the weekend, Tim Tebow and the Denver Broncos' playoff run came to an end by losing to the New England Patriots 45-10, a game that was never close. Next week, the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Giants will play along with the Baltimore Ravens and the New England Patriots. The winner of these games will play in the Super Bowl. Now in college football news, the Alabama Crimson Tide, led by their kicker Jeremy Shelley, bulldozed over the LSU Tigers in the 2012 BCS Championship game. The Crimson Tide outgained the Tigers 384 yards to a mere 92. All those yards only resulted in one touchdown for the Tide. However, it did put them in range for their kicker, Jeremy Shelley, to drop 5 field goals in the 21-0 win over the LSU Tigers. We'll be back with more of the news after this quick commercial break.
My Jamie, she was my baby girl, my precious baby girl. When Jamie was a teenager, she would spend her lunch hours going to the tanning salons. I didn't realize how dangerous they were. If you tan when you're young, your risks for melanoma are increased by 75%. That's huge. What I would say to mothers that allow their daughters to tan, no mother should have to visit their daughter in a cemetery. 1 person an hour dies from melanoma. Jamie's hour was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday, March 16th, 2007. I hope no one else has to mark their hour.
This message is brought to you by the American Academy of Dermatology.
Welcome back for more News Now. Here's Adam with another sweet story. What do you got for us, Adam?
Well, I wish it was a sweet story. Hostess, the maker of Twinkies, Ding Dongs, Ho-Hos, and many other delightful treats, has filed for bankruptcy. This would be the second time in the last decade for this 87-year-old company. Hostess was forced to make this decision because many Americans now favor health-conscious snacks over sugary foods. Also, an ongoing battle with labor costs and increased competition played a major role. Well, that's too bad. I really enjoyed Hostess, and Twinkie was my favorite.
Mine too.
Yep, let's go to Justin Chitwood and see if he has got some sweeter news for us.
Thanks, Adam. Junior prom tickets are now on sale in the high school main office for $35 a person or $50 a couple. The junior prom will take place on Friday, January 27th, with dinner beginning at 7 p.m. in the gym, and the dance goes to 12 a.m. This year's theme is Las Vegas. January 25th from 6:30 to 7:30, Marysville High School is holding a Know How to Go meeting. This meeting will help students and parents 9th grade through 12th grade know all the ins and outs of the college application process. The meeting will be held in the school's auditoriums. We hope to see you there. The Marysville Public Schools are now offering breakfast. It costs a mere $1.25 at both high school and middle school. Serving time for high school is 7:40 a.m. to 7:56 a.m. Stop in any of the high school or middle school cafeterias and get a balanced breakfast. That will be more after this break.
My name is Amanda. I'm 21 years old. I have lots of friends that use tanning beds that lay out in the sun all the time, and I tell them about Jamie. Jamie was in her early 20s when she was diagnosed with melanoma, and she died right before she turned 30. Jamie's death caused me to stop tanning completely. Before that, in high school, I wanted to be dark and look good in a prom dress or a bathing suit. In high school, it was the thing to do. But after Jamie's death, I completely stepped away from tanning beds and never went back. I know now tanning can cause the worst possible skin cancer you could get. People think tanning is safe. I don't think it's safe. You could die just like Jamie did.
This message is brought to you by the American Academy of Dermatology.
Welcome back to News Now on M6, your hometown station. Let's go to Haley Myron with some interesting tech stories.
Thank you, Adam. Nintendo showed its new next-generation system at the Las Vegas Electronics Show. At first glance, the Wii U seems very similar to its predecessor. The difference is the 9-inch touchscreen controller that gives the gamer more advantages. Details on the release date aren't available at this time, but we look forward to seeing the new system hit stores soon. Speaking of new systems, laptop manufacturers have recently produced a product that can compete with the new wave of tablets. It's called the Ultrabook. It's a PC that has newer Intel technology in it and features metal cases. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you. Well, that sounds like a very interesting laptop. I might have to go out and buy one and watch some movies on it.
Sounds pretty cool.
Speaking of movies, let's go to Nicole George with some entertainment news.
How big is Tebow mania? According to the ESPN Sports Poll, Tim Tebow is now America's favorite active pro athlete. The poll, calculated monthly, had the Denver Broncos quarterback ranked atop the list of December. In the 18 years of the ESPN Sports Poll, only 11 different athletes have ever been number one in the monthly polling. That list includes Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, and LeBron James. In December's poll, Tebow was picked over Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady. Tebow is just the 6th different athlete to finish number one in the monthly rankings since 2007. The others are Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James. In music, British pop singer Adele has earned a 15th week atop the Billboard 200 with her sophomore album 21. The Billboard 200, which records the top-selling albums of each week, has Adele at with 124,000 albums sold this week, followed by Drake's second album, Take Care, with 42,000 albums sold. The Black Keys' new album, El Camino, came in third this week with about 42,000 albums sold also. Adele's 21 is the longest-reigning album on the charts since the Titanic soundtrack, which spent 16 weeks on the chart in 1998. From the directors of Despicable Me and the imagination of Dr. Seuss comes the 3D CG feature, Dr. Seuss, The Lorax. The animated adventure follows the journey of a 12-year-old as he searches for the one thing that will enable him to win the affection of the girl of his dreams. Wow, that sounds like a very interesting week in entertainment. Now back to you guys.
Yes, it does sound like a very interesting week. The Lorax sounds like a good film. I'd have to go see that when it comes out.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you for joining us today. I hope you join us again for more News Now on M6, your hometown station.
Hey you!
Who said that?
Are you tired of watching videos of cats on YouTube?
Yes.
Then go to your YouTube search bar and type in M6 Broadcast. Find the channel and you can watch student-edited videos for concerts or events in Marysville.
Thank you, disembodied voice.
You're welcome.
Marysville High, a school preparing students for life. Here, training is available for college, military, or vocational schools. Marysville has some of the top MEP scores in St. Clair County and some of the state's best test scores. Our faculty is trained to meet specific needs of each and every student, and our courses are designed to fit whatever the student is looking for. Opportunities for extracurricular are limitless. Come to Marysville, your child's first step towards success.